You are listening to 90.3 WRST-FM Oshkosh. Welcome to the first episode of Titan Talks with your hosts, Tevin and Joe the Big-O. Today, we are here with two amazing people who go to UWO. Give it up for the Astronomers. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Go. Happy to be here.
That's good. Thanks for coming. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah, really good. You know, like we said before, semester is just flying by, so we're trying to, kind of take advantage of some of the online courses. We're able to flex our schedule around making music, taking classes. It's been nice that way for us. So good.
That's good. I know, like, once COVID hit, you was probably like, man, classes are online, but hey, more free time to work on stuff, right?
Exactly.
It's funny, yeah. For a lot of people, it's, it sucks because, a lot of people need to go to that in-person interaction, and, Ben and I kind of took it as, all right, this allows us for way more flexibility. But, yeah, to answer your question, yes, it did.
So I'm just wondering, how did you guys meet?
We met in jazz band back in middle school. So we both loved to play saxophone, and we sat next to each other, shredding solos in middle school jazz band. And we found a lot of similarities in music. Did all this, solo and ensembles together. And that's kind of how we started going with music and became good friends. So.
Oh wow! So like, how long you guys been friends for? Like a decade almost,
yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
Is that 2011? 6th grade?
How old would we have been? Is that 12? This is 11?
Yeah.
Dang. Wow, that is like 10 years. That's insane. Wow, 10-year anniversary. That's cute.
What a great time to do the interview.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly.
So, what other instruments do you guys play besides the saxophone, actually?
Well, I do guitar. That's what I did in a high school band. But I wouldn't say I'm like proficient in any instrument. I'd say I'm proficient in producing, if that's an instrument.
Okay, I
guess you could call that an instrument.
Yeah.
Duh.
No, yeah, we're all kind of, one of the things Ben and I've been trying to do lately is kind of really honing on some live instruments and, start taking some lessons just to really get, ready to play our stuff live. We want to incorporate those live elements. So, Ben's been doing some guitar lessons with our friend Hunter Reese, So I've been doing piano, and then, we both kind of play around on ukulele, and then saxophone, like I said, and then vocals for me, so.
Okay. So I guess my next question for you guys is, like, what inspired you guys to create, the Astronomers? Like, what's the story behind that?
So when I was in high school, I did this project called DJ Baker. It was like a copyright-free instrumental where I built 3 instrumentals for gamers to use in their videos. And that started to kind of go pretty well. And our current manager, Woods Entertainment Group, they reached out to me when I was 18, my senior year of high school. So I kind of kept that connection and kept working together. And then, once I got into freshman year of college, I wasn't really around music people. I went to Platteville. I was getting kind of bored of making music by myself. And we were in a band together in high school. And he was the lead singer, so I just FaceTimed him one night and said, I'm sick of doing this by myself. It's not that fun. We should make it a duo. And then from there, we just kept grinding at it.
The Astronomers was formed in 2019. Yeah, a lot of inspiration for us. I mean, starting out, if you listen to some of our older records, it's a lot more dance music, a lot of electronic elements. We loved the Chainsmokers back when they were popping off. And we showed that in our music. As of late, and for this next project that we're working on, we've really started to find our influence in what we've been wanting to create. That more experimental electronic, your John Bellion, AJR, Quinn 92, those catchy pop melodies, the brassy production. But it's been great, and I think we're finally able to take those influences and make it, a good mix of that with Astronomers, and then, really get what we want.
We're making it sound like what we've kind of been working towards for a long time.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's very good. Like I said, I can't wait for what's next. So when is that project coming out exactly?
Yeah. So Our next project is April 23rd. So 2 weeks from Friday.
2 weeks from Friday.
Wow, I always mess that up. That's
Wow.
crazy. So yeah, brand new EP dropping on the 23rd, and we're, like I said, so excited to show people, what we've really wanted to create and get to, and it's just the beginning for that type of music. So we're excited for that. Yeah.
Okay. So then, what can people expect from it?
If people liked Overthinking, I think they're gonna really like the new songs that are coming out. It's definitely got the kind of playful, elements of like the heavy hitting drums. And yeah, I think each song that's coming out is a little bit different than the other, which is kind of cool too.
For sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So then, what was the process for creating Overthinking?
Well, yeah, it's actually really funny. Before we released our last project, Sinking Ships and Story Tales, we started a new idea, and it all started from me working my summer job with my aunt. What we did was landscaping, and there was one time when we were at one of the houses, and every time I tell this story, I feel like it just gets funnier because I can't believe it was actually the case. But I, no joke, went up to her and said, Cindy, can I go and record a voice memo because I have a really good idea. And that idea was over thinking. And that was all it was. I went and recorded a little melody on my phone, brought it back that night. Ben and I kind of started, cooking with that. And the ideas just came one after another. One of our quickest songs to really get
effortless.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was, and it's funny because, it was one of our quicker songs, and we have songs that have taken 8 months to put out, and we've had songs like Overthinking where we'll finish them in a week, and they end up being, the ones that kind of get going for us too, which is really kind of ironic, but cool, you never know.
So then, if that's like the quickest song you guys ever wrote, and then you mentioned before that you had a song that took roughly 8 months to complete, is that what you said? Sort of, or?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it was 8 months. January we started it in 2020, and we released it in November.
Oh, that's
what's that? That's 10 months. That's 11 months.
That was almost a year.
Yeah, it is. That's 11 months, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm. So, longest time period, lowest performing song. Lowest time period, highest performing song.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was one of those things where for Drinking on a Tuesday, we had, the song pretty much done for a while, but we never really got that finishing piece that we wanted. And, when we went out to LA last summer, we were with a couple of friends, and, one of the guys out there, Will Guild, who's just an insane guitar player and a great vocalist too. We just asked him, we were like, hey, we've got this open bridge / verse on this track. Would you be down to just kind of take it and, make the song what it needed to be? He did it. And honestly, no matter what the streams are on the song, it's one of our favorite songs. And in live, too, it's going to be really fun to play. We've kind of started to notice that practicing it. So, but yeah, it's funny how it works, a long song. You never know.
Yeah,
exactly. So how is like the creative process? Like one day you're just like, all right, let's create a song. So like, what's like your process from beginning to end?
So we kind of like refined our process. It used to be, especially with like the electronic records, I would start a production and then I'd send it to him and he'd write to it. But then pretty much all of our new ones now, anything we work on, it's always he writes it first and then he'll show me and then I'll be like, let's work on that one. He'll write like a ton of songs and then I'll listen to all of them and say what I liked, what I didn't like, and which ones I'm interested in looking at. So
for the most part, though, what I mean. There's a couple songs, especially one of our last songs, I guess it's just like, where it was like we on accident heard a loop, and it turned out to be we stopped the song we were working on, and then I was like, Ben, that's a whole nother song. I've already got ideas. We wrote the song really fast, and it was, started just off that loop. So it can be,
That was done 4 days.
Yeah, that was the quickest song we ever made.
Wow.
But like you said, it starts off with, lately I've really been better at writing more towards what I think Ben can produce, rather than, you can show him a song that's, a little more singer-songwritery, but, it might not work the best with a production like we like to do right now. And so, kind of figuring that out has been really nice and helped us, really work efficiently when we get to the studio. If I have a song that, I think is going to groove with this drum beat that he has, we're able to kind of get it down right away.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing about production, we said something a little bit more like singer-songwriting. I find those like songs that are more minimal, like harder to produce, because you got to get it just so perfect, because there's not much going on. But like, I've gotten really good at kind of like the chaotic, like lots of sounds in the song. You don't even really know what to listen for. It's kind of just complex drums, complex sounds, and that's easy to produce, really.
Right. So then, like, for like the songwriting process, like, what inspires you? Like, do you just like go outside, like one day you just like, oh, idea, or do you like think of a time where something happened to you, whether it's good or bad, and he's like, I'm gonna make a song about it?
Yeah, yes and yes. Songwriting is so sporadic when you think of stuff, and I couldn't tell you how many voice memos I have of me just in the weirdest places, walking to class or in class, that I will literally have to take a voice memo because I think an idea is good right off the bat. But even just this morning, I was walking to work around 7:30, and I thought of this idea. I didn't even tell you. It was like this idea of writing a song with the vocal the whole time in a telephone vocal, and the whole song is kind of communicated like the two are over a phone. And then
that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, but to answer your question, not to get off track, my bad. But yeah, like it's just so spur of the moment. You never really know, as cheesy as that sounds, when an idea is gonna come to you. But that's always how it's been, and that's usually when the best songs are. I find it hard to sit down and say I'm going to write a type of song. That's not really realistic. Some people can do that, and you can do it, but there's been a few times where I've finished songs where I've just told myself, okay, I'm gonna go to the piano and write a Justin Bieber song.
Same with production though too. Is like whenever you sit down and say, let's make a dope song tonight from scratch, it like never happens, because it's like, I don't know.
It's weird.
The best ones are always just so effortless. You don't even have to try.
For the future, do you guys have any plans on performing, whether it's in person, hopefully, or virtual?
Yeah, that's been the big topic for us lately, is getting shows rolling. So our first show that we're going to be playing is May 6th, and that is here at Oshkosh for By Gosh Fest. And so what they're going to be doing, not all the details are out, so a lot of this is still up in the air, but one thing they did confirm today was that they're going to have a 50-person, cap in the ballroom here, and we're going to be playing 4 people, and that's going to be awesome because we want to play our music live for people. But we've been booking a lot of gigs for the summer. A lot of places are wanting us to play, especially some our county fair back in Fond du Lac, and we're going to be playing there. And also just kind of getting stuff rolling for the fall has been something we've been doing too, looking at college shows and, trying to get that all rolling out because that's what we want to do. But yeah, it's been a big thought on our minds lately. So.
Well, first off, congratulations on getting that performance on May 6th.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did that come about, actually?
It was so funny. It was just me because I don't know what her exact...
I was in Arizona in COVID.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the exact title for her is, but her name's Hannah, part of Reunion Board. She sends me a text one night when I'm with my roommate Jordan, and she said, hey, would you guys be down to play at By Gosh Fest as the opener? Because, usually they like to do the battle of the openers, and try to see, like, who's going to all be in it.
Yeah.
But, for them this year, it was all about, trying to find someone quick, someone they knew about. And happily, they thought of us, it was very flattering, and they trust us to put on a good show, and we want to come through with that, and we're really excited for it. So it's cool that it happened.
And the main person is B.O.B., correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. B.O.B.
Yeah, good old Bob. He's playing a little. He's playing a little. He's gonna play a little virtual show for us after us. So.
Okay, so that is virtual. He's not gonna
Yeah.
come to Oshkosh to perform it with the 50 people.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
That'd be cool.
I know, right? It'll be awesome. Never had it so good. Right?
Right.
Everyone's jamming to their middle school track that they were part to.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
I want to be in my fields. I want to hear him play Airplanes, yo.
For real.
Every time that song comes on, it gets me in the feels every time.
You've got some hits.
So
I've been practicing a lot lately.
So Bagosh is going to be your big opener.
It really
It's
is.
fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We've done like a few acoustic things, but
Mhm.
not like an actual
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, we've done a few acoustic performances of our songs, but it's really gonna be what we want it to be when we can actually, get our songs sounding the way they sound. When people listen to them on Spotify or whatever they listen to. In a live setting, that's gonna really be the thing that we really want to get into, because live shows is where it's at, and where people really start to dive into your music more, because it's more personal when you see someone live. And so that's why COVID hopefully isn't an issue, or as big of an issue when fall comes around, so we can really get that rolling for us, because it'd be fun to get to the point where everyone in, and
Right.
The big crowds. Just
yeah, dude. Soon. Yeah.
And then you mentioned you want to do like perform at other colleges. Is there like certain colleges you guys have in mind, or it's just sort of like an idea at the moment?
Pretty much. I mean, we're open to whatever colleges, whichever ones reach out to us. Our manager's been talking with a few that are interested after COVID. So East and West Coast included areas. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, and there's also like the program NACA.
NACA too. We get involved with that,
which we're going to try to get involved in. That's the with the National Association of College and
campus at college activities,
something like that. But that's kind of where they send people to go find these bands that are going to be playing and that they want to play at college shows. And it's a really good program, and we're trying to get that rolling for the fall.
Well, hopefully, wish you guys all of the best for that. Hopefully, you guys do get it. I know.
Yeah, 100%.
So I bet you all those colleges that you guys go to will really enjoy your music. I know I do.
Thank you. Yeah, we hope so. That'd be great. That'd be the plan.
Let's say your manager came up to you and was like, hey, you have an opportunity to open for any artist that you want. Who would you want to open for and why?
It's a good question. And it's something we put out on. We actually put that out on Twitter not too long ago. And we straight up just asked followers, like, if you could see us open up for anyone, who would it be? And one of the big, influences for us is AJR, which is a trio who makes, Bang Is Them, Weak.
Oh, yeah.
Got songs, a couple of good songs that have gotten some serious radio play, and that would be like the group that would just be insane, because we've seen them so many times, we've looked up to them for so long.
Their audience seems to really like our music.
Their audience is on our music. It's crazy. Astronomers Twitter is basically AJR Twitter right now, which is its own crazy thing.
Hey, JR, if you're listening, get him.
Yeah, for real. Brian, where you at?
So, since AJR is a very big influence, I'll be sure, like, I'm assuming, like, if they came up to you, was like, hey, let's do a collab, you guys would be all for it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I think a lot of people will be all for it, because they really don't collab.
Really?
So their last album that came out like 2 weeks ago, the only collab on that album was with Blue Man Group. They always got to do something weird.
Yeah. And they recently just did an interview with one of our favorite interviewers, Zach Sang. And they talked about that. They said, what's, the one thing they like to do is surprise their audiences. And the one thing they were like, all right, so if there's going to be a feature on the album, who's someone that we can bring on that's just going to, no one is going to think of. No one is going to think, oh, Blue Man Group's going to be on this album for sure, 100%. And so that's one of the cool things about that is they really surprise you. But of course, yeah, I mean, that'd be dope to have a song with them, 100%.
So then, if you had the option to choose two more, what would be the other two and why?
Who would yours be?
Other two people that a song with or going tour with?
Song.
I think song.
Song. Oh, okay. I'd probably say
Surfaces?
Yeah, Surfaces. That's probably them or AJR. They're probably my favorite people right now. And then I don't know, Queen 92, Christian French, kind of anyone in that circle would be really dope.
Yeah, same for me probably. Two of the other ones not named. I really like Chelsea Cutler and Jeremy Zucker. Great voices, great songs, cool production. Yeah, that'd be cool if it was just that easy. Just say like, hey,
right, right, exactly. Maybe one day. But what about any local artists that you guys know, whether it's in Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, or even in Wisconsin?
So the past week we've been working on this song with Molly McCarthy. I don't know if you guys are good friends or if you guys are close to her at all, or if you know her. But yeah, Molly's great. We've been working with her, and that's honestly been our first real song that we've kind of worked on with someone locally. We tend to really right, friend from high school. But we tend to really, kind of sit in us two. We've got our vision right now for what we want to create. So, but when something happens or when someone who's really good wants to work with us and it sounds right and it fits what we're trying to do, we're always down to do that. You know what I mean? Why would you not be? But that's what's going on right now with us, and that's very recent, and that's probably our first real local collaboration that we're doing right now since Jensen. So
is that going to be on? I know for sure not this upcoming project, but will it be on like the next project, or will it be on one of hers?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Right now, what we're doing is we're banking up a lot of our songs. What we like to do is kind of get a feel for what we want, what the next sound for the chapter is going to be. We like to put our songs in like chapters. So it's instead of saying, one project or an album, we like to call it chapters because it's like a chapter, cheesy enough. It's like a chapter in our life. And so we kind of think that's like a cool twist to that. But it's one of the songs that we're kind of making right now for the next project, whether or not
10 demos.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of demos. And then we kind of like, once we get really serious about working on a project, we start to really hone in on what ones we're going to take to the next level, what ones we're going to really focus on and what ones we're kind of going to put aside. So that's kind of like how the process works when it comes to creating the EP. What the sound is, you can think of a sound that you want for a project, but it never really comes together until you find that one song that you're working on that, kind of hits different than all the others. Right.
We saw that and we're like,
Overthinking was, we really honed in on those brass and the, wonky trumpets and all of that. And you kind of see that with the rest of this project that's coming out at the end of the month is that we found something that worked, and we really wanted to drench that into this project and show people what we're about right now and what we like to make. And we hope people realize that. I think they will. But it's been a lot of fun even creating this project. Just like I said before, just really finding that sound we've wanted to create for, since we started. So it's really cool that way too.
For this upcoming chapter, what would be your favorite song off of it?
I'm gonna say "Guess It's Just Life," the last song on the EP, is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, it is that, you know, it's hard to pick right now because you've got those, like I said, I would agree with Ben. I think the Guess It's Just Life is a good one that we've made. I think that one is the most versatile out of all of them. And what I mean by that is it's got, you know, the pop side, it's got the Astronomers kind of weird brass that we like to do, but it's very like likable for a lot of different audiences. But it's hard to tell, like when the project isn't out yet, I tend to base a lot of my decisions on what song, you know, I like the most, kind of off of, you know, other people kind of what they base their opinions off of. So like when they say, oh, this song, you know, was my favorite. And then I say, oh, you're right. That one actually is super dope. And it kind of reassures you that, you know, there's not just one song that's coming out that's the clear cut banger of the EP.
Right.
But, you know, what people, right. And it's just going to be really cool to see because, you know, in making this whole project, I was telling Ben this the other day, we really feel like this project has become more of a cohesive project rather than our first one, which was, you know, very bare bones, you know, starting out and seeing what we could do, seeing what we could create. And this one really came together as more of a story. And so it progresses as you listen to the EP, and Ben could vouch for this. We changed the order of the EP probably 5 times before we came up with the right order, track list meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just really cool. You know, like each song really has its own story, and we really hope people can see that from a, you know, story standpoint.
Which I've been saying, I'm really, really excited to hear it, honestly. And it's
so are we. We're so excited for people to hear this.
It sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's really.
I think a lot of people will be talking about this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's releasing on the 23rd, correct?
Yep. So 2 weeks from Friday. So it's coming up. And it's funny because, you know, depending on, I forgot when you said this is going to be airing, but we haven't officially, as of today, announced the EP yet. We announced what we did on Monday is we said, Guess It's Just Life, April 23rd, 2021. But we didn't actually tell them that it was an EP. So right now, you know, people were commenting, is this just a song? Is this an EP? Is this a project? Like, what is it? And we're officially announcing that on Friday. So it's still up in the air for a lot of people right now.
Okay. You guys probably had like a lot of emotions coming through when y'all first started doing music and then like releasing music. My question for you guys is, what is like the best advice that you guys received about, you know, pursuing this? You know, if that makes sense.
You can go first. I think about this one.
Yeah, I think no, it's a good question. I mean, we love being able to talk like in depth about the stuff we've experienced because, you know, we don't get to a lot with you know, our friends. But one of the things, we went out to the first summer that we started making music, 2019 summer, we went out to LA and kind of we met, you know, our friend Hunter Reese. I said his name before. One of the guys on our song All In, which is the first song that we dropped back in May 2019. And we went out to LA that summer, you know, to get together with him and just really kind of dive into the music industry. Because for us, it was all very new still, and still is, you know, it changes every day. But we really wanted to kind of get into the heart of the music industry. We knew going out there was going to be a fun and good way to do that. We were able to meet and go to some really cool places. One of the guys that we met out there was a guy by the name of Drew DeCaro, you know, Grammy-nominated producer, toured with Miguel. Really, other than all the accolades, really just down-to-earth guy who really sets the bar for all people trying to get into this industry. Because the biggest thing that I've taken away from him is being welcoming to anyone who wants to do cool stuff is the way to go, because the more you let people in, the more of a circle you're going to create, the more of a connection you're going to create. And it all starts with getting off on the right foot with people in the music industry, because the more friends you make, the more you're going to be able to just find this entry, find that entry. And it's all about just genuinely getting a good friend base going in the music industry. Because if you don't do that and you're just like, oh, well, I'm doing this for myself, or we're just trying to put our stuff out and see what happens. It's just, that's not really taking it seriously. And it's all about, making connections and, doing cool stuff. So.
I was actually going to say that about you, but
right.
I'd say it's not really advice, but something I kind of observed is like, you really have to like it. Because starting out, it's not going to sound like what you want it to sound like. It's not going to sound like your favorite artist, and you're going to have to put a lot of time into it just to get better. But you can't really care. You just got to keep working at it, and be prepared to have 99 no's and 1 yes for sending out emails. Just keep going, and eventually you're gonna hit something. So,
I second that.
No, and I totally agree with what both of you guys said. Honestly, yes, making connections, whether it's through music or through any profession, that's probably the most important, because through them, they'll open doors for you. You be able to
100%.
achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, man.
So then now, let's say one of your friends or maybe some fans, either hit you up on Twitter, sign in your DMs, or text you saying, "Hey, I'm really interested in starting my own path for music." What would be like some advice you'll give to me as like a
we've gotten a couple of those. And people will say like more more like physical things, like what do I need to buy? And I think that's where the question should stop. Is everyone thinks, oh, I need to go and get in this studio, I need to have all the equipment. But when we started, we were working over the phone. We were FaceTiming, making our songs together. And he was on his computer with his 2 monitors and a 19 key. Is that how short the small ones are? 1924 with the keyboards.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the MIDIs.
Yep.
That was all he was using, was this short little MIDI keyboard. And he was able to do it because, it's every piece of the puzzle. It's your brand, it's how well you market yourself, and it's being able to put those 2 together and also hone in on what you're going to make and your craft. Focus on a sound, and don't
even focus on getting really, really good plugins or jumping right in and like, I'm going to get Splice, I'm going to get this whole plugin pack, this whole it's going to be too overwhelming, and you're not going to be able to master like one thing. So what I did is I kind of got into it, and then once I got comfortable with something, I'd buy a new plugin, and then I started getting used to that, and then slowly kind of jump into it and get good with what you're working with, rather than just splurging and buying a ton of stuff at once.
Yeah, and even to go back on that, it's like starting out, you need to get good at what you have, and then everything after that is all icing on the cake. It's all adding to what you're doing. To the more stuff you build with your stuff, it helps for sure. But like a lot of people will be like, oh, I want to get this analog, I want to get this real software, that's in or hardware, I should say, sorry. That's like physical that I can play. And sure, that's really cool, but are you dropping $1,000 when you could be, working with what you have is not necessarily always the best way to go. But
you can get vintage Valhalla reverb, and if you don't know how to use reverb plugins, it's still not going to sound like you want it.
Right.
So,
if you could change anything about like the industry that you're in, what would you change?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
I don't know if this completely answers your question, but as much as I like TikTok, and don't get me wrong, some really good songs come from TikTok, but some of the songs that you can clearly hear are like especially on the radio, you're like, okay, this is a TikTok song. And I don't know, it's kind of irritating to me, because it sounds like sometimes they throw it all together. And like I said before, I love a lot of TikTok songs, but you got to use it to your advantage, and it's definitely changed the industry in the last few years.
Yeah, I would second that. I think that's the biggest thing right now is it's a bittersweet platform where you will find a lot of really good, talented artists on the app that are deserving of getting that attention, but then also you'll get people for the sole purpose of, getting a hit and saying like, okay, here's a beat that I made. This goes hard. Like, oh, let's get this.
Yeah, they're like deserving too. It's just, I just kind of like, what's cool to me is when people put a ton of time into something and it's like really high quality rather than it's a trend and it's a super low quality recording.
Yeah,
I think everyone's kind of deserving of success, but I just think it's way cooler to put a ton of
kind of climb the ladder to get there.
Put a ton of time into something that sounds actually really good rather than this trend.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like instead of just throwing something out there, just throw something out there. You actually put your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, I think that's way cooler.
Yeah, like we're having, we use TikTok, but we should be using it. It's not. What's the word? It's wrong to not use it almost because it is a really popular platform right now. So using it. Yeah, but I mean, it is hard because it's like, what's the fun in, if music is your passion, part of that passion should be the road to get to where you want to get. And if you're automatically from here to here in a matter of one day, it's like, all right, where do I go from here? Am I just going to sit here or go down even? It's like where you got to the top just in a day and there's no more drive. There's, all right, how do I top this? And that's really hard to do when you're...
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of artists, like, you get to the top and then time will tell. Either you have the work ethic or you don't, to keep it going.
Yeah, and I mean, we love the way we are doing our music right now to the point where it's, we're seeing this, and that's really cool for us to constantly see this growth and, this fan base develop and people who genuinely are fans rather than, oh, I like these people because they're popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like there are definitely some songs on there that are more of like, oh, it's a cool beat, and then you hear it and it's just, why is this cool?
Yeah. It's weird, and
hey, you gotta play it. Maybe they do that on purpose because they know that's what people like. I guess everyone's that's why streaming is really cool because when you stream a song, that's basically a vote. It's not like the record labels are choosing anymore. It's the people. People are choosing who they stream, and the labels just look at the numbers and see what's good.
Talking about TikTok and like other social media platforms, do you think those influence how much people have made music, like via the internet and other platforms? And do you think it like enhanced the music business?
I definitely think it influenced people to make music for sure. Enhance in a positive way the music business. I think in some regards, yeah, just because it kind of gives everyone a feeling like maybe it inspires more people to make music, and maybe I can blow up, or it's everyone's kind of testing their odds and seeing what they can make. So I think it definitely helps from a creative aspect where there's a lot more unique sounds and just more creativity. But I think the music business was definitely kind of thrown off when they first saw like Old Town Road of the power of TikTok. And I think that's definitely become one of their main focuses now, which is, I don't know if maybe they like it, maybe they don't.
Yeah, I mean, we really like using our social media platforms because it is a really good way to, and at first it was the only way we connected and made songs with people. I mean, our first song, our third song, and our fourth song were all with people, LA, Atlanta, Georgia, and London, United Kingdom. 3 people all across the world, and wouldn't have happened if it weren't for, Instagram DMs and connections from that. And, that's cool in that sense where you can, get a lot of stuff done quickly over the phone like that. But there is like something about that personal connection, and, you can never really take that relationship with someone to the next level until you do like make the effort to get to know that person, just, not just over the phone. And, we've really actively tried to make that happen, where we've gone out to LA, hung out with Hunter Reese, and drove down to Nashville a couple months ago to meet up with Zach Paradise, who was a singer on Skywalking and also Area 51. And there's this wall you climb over when you do that, and it's really nice to get that in-person interaction with someone. But starting off, social media can be a really good thing for artists because you can get a lot of balls rolling that way. So yeah, I mean, if people are so inclined, Instagram, theastronomers.music, Facebook is The Astronomers, and Twitter is _astronomers. So if you look up The Astronomers and you find two guys in a blue background, you probably find that's us. And then YouTube and all streaming platforms are just The Astronomers. So if you guys are, if you want to go check out the new EP that just dropped yesterday, go check it out, and we would love to hear your thoughts. And yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want to say to your fans before we wrap up the show?
Other than I really hope they enjoy this.
Enjoy it. Thanks for the support.
Yeah,
crazy.
For real. It's been a crazy last couple months, and we really hope this project either was fun to listen to, helped you through something while listening to it, or whatever that may be, whatever that experience may be to the listener. We really hope they enjoyed it. And just thank you to everyone who's supporting us, whether that be friends and family or someone new. So, yeah.
Thanks again for coming and doing this. We appreciate it, and we are glad to have you. And so us and your fans cannot wait. Well, we are really excited for the new release and can't wait to let you know how it is.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for having us on.
No problem. And you can find them at theastronomers.music, and just look at The Astronomers on Spotify, YouTube. Just look them up. You'll find them. And you can join us next week for more Titan Talk with a new artist group.